Hello and welcome to the Autumn Equinox. This is just a little prior preparation for any of the ceremony that you may be contemplating, or how you could maybe put a little bit more recognition of the passing of the time in your life. We'll be having the Lightwalkers gathering this equinox on the 21st of March at 7 a.m. And this is my daughter Kylie Beale.
Hello.
And she's going to be helping us out, which is good for me. So anyway, talking of the autumn equinox, as you can imagine, autumn being the time of the harvest queen, it's also the emergence of the shadow lord. So there's that dynamic that plays out within us as well. So the harvest queen, a little bit representative of as you sow, so shall you reap. And it's also the time for preparation of the Metanoia, which is as you go down into the time of death, which is what winter is, the emergence of winter, then so is it that you are able to let go completely of everything and come back healed. So by the time spring comes, you are renewed, if you get. So that's part of that process. So I guess what we thought we might do is with a lot of the recognition of the turning of the cycle, there's the construction of circles, and part of that is the wreath. So we thought we might do a wreath that is sort of pertinent to that letting go process. It's like the letting go and also just being who you are and what it is that goes into making up who you are. So it's a gratitude to that, to the ancestral lineage, but also how to reclaim your power of that. It's not like to repeat a pattern or something like that. So essentially, we just due to life, the universe and everything, we've got some wreaths already constructed here, and they're made out of willow. So Kylie's also made wreaths in the past. So because we don't actually have one here to show you how to do this, we've got 3 different examples. Kylie's made one.
Yes, I have gone with the braiding technique, which I think is this one.
Yes.
Yes, so basically I used willow to braid it around and meld it into a round shape.
Yeah.
And you connect the ends here and tie them off like my mum has done here.
Yeah. So essentially willow's good because it's such a pliable. Another good wood is pine, or if you have it in the garden, some cedar. You could even use eucalyptus, some of the hanging down branches of the young branches. The main reason is just to be able to get that bend without the break is a good thing. So we've got 4 examples. This one's just curled around itself and then tied on itself. There was a bit of string to start this one off until I realised I was better than that. So then I abandoned the string. So this one's just a twisted one, like you're twisting it like twine and then taking it back onto itself. And this one's just using all the little branches and individually twining it around until you get this sort of really quite thick sort of bit of wicker. That one.
And also to note is it's better to work building wreaths while they're still green. If they're already dried, they'll snap and you'll lose malleable.
Excellent. So this wreath, it's not about how beautiful it is. This one, like we're not going to construct flower arrangements or something. You can if you like. Being the time of the harvest queen, you could construct something using lots of seeds, lots of fruits and stuff like that, you know, whatever you can find, and make it beautiful and wear it on your head. However, for this purpose, the gratitude wreath, somewhere along in our ancestry, we equated ourselves with plants. So this is to do with a year-long sort of commitment to yourself. And essentially, we're going to use twine. So we've got twine of 4 different colours here. So we've got the 4 directions, north, south, east and west. At this time, this is the colour, black for the western time. because we're in that quadrant of the circle of time. And black, you know, these are ancient colours, so they're representative of, as you can imagine, what do we usually equate black with? It's, you know, the death. It's to do with the complete letting go, all of that sort of thing. So in the darkness, the coming of the darkness, etc., etc. So essentially, if you want to think of that from a psychological point of view, that's like looking at your own shadow. And that's potentially what we're going to do here.
I like that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it that way.
Yeah. So this one, again, like we're saying, isn't pretty. So you constructed your circle. Let's say choose a wreath. This the little one here.
Did you want the little one?
Oh yeah, I can do it. Right. So that we could construct a circle, and the circle, of course, is representative of the sun. It's the life path, how things circle in life. It's also a point on the globe. So essentially you're picking a point. You're picking a point in life. You're picking a point and a reflection of time. So this is a feeling thing, not a thinking thing. So essentially we're going to use a mantra. And one of the mantras of this time, and it would help probably to write it down and maybe go through a list of things that you may find pertinent, that you feel you want to focus on while that you're constructing your circle. So one of them is, and I've written it here, so hopefully you can see that. Tell me when. Back. Forward.
Could just put a picture in.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what it says is basically you're acknowledging a name, and usually because we're dealing with genetics, the darker stuff of us, it's the stuff, unseen stuff. It's like your grandma, your granddad, all that sort of thing. So you can go like, grandma with love, I love you, I give back to you, whatever it is. It could be the anger that may be associated with something. These little things that you've noticed in yourself where you've gone, oh gee, that's like mum, that's like dad, that's like such and such. So rather than getting cranky at yourself for being like that person, you need to love yourself for being like that person. But then it becomes time to give that back. This is as you sow, so shall you reap. So you say, I give you back whatever it is. You can say it as long as you like, whatever that line is. And so I can own my power. That's how you finish it. And I choose, so then you choose what it is that you're committing to as to your replacement. I choose love. I choose, you know, however long you want to make that. So write it out first is probably most helpful. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So choose a colour. If you want to work with, what would you like?
I would love red.
Okay. Now, go for natural fibres, because this is a wreath that you're going to throw into a tree. So you need it to actually decompose over time. So we've got cotton here. We've got jute. So that's a plant fibre. It's unfortunate that these aren't natural dyes, but essentially it's the best you can do. So essentially just take off as much as you feel you need. And while you're doing this, think about this mantra that you've written for yourself. Take yourself into a more meditative state. Start to focus on your breathing. Start to focus on where you're at, etc., etc. You can make the piece of string as long as you like. You could even leave it on the ball if you want to. It's up to you. So essentially, find yourself a starting point. Take a moment and just breathe. When you found that starting point, just tie it in a knot. That hopefully won't come undone. Now the idea is just to get yourself into that state of the memory of that feeling that you have around what it is, the issue that you're asking to be returned or to be with love, let go of, so that you can regain the power that you need. And then as you go, you just breathe and state that to yourself. You can be quiet with it. You don't have to be yelling it out. And then all you're doing is wrapping the circle. It can be across the circle, it can be around the circle, it can be in any way, shape or form to the circle. It's a little bit like making a dream catcher, but essentially it's not that pretty. You can make it pretty, but the idea is to feel it, not think it. And as you go, you can add things that are pertinent to you, that represent certain things that you're going to allow to let go of while you construct this. If you're like me, you might get a knot in it. Whatever it is, just go with it. So there's other ways to also acknowledge this time. Kylie was telling me about a process with leaves and fruit.
Yeah, I got a book recently and I was reading, they had a little segment in there for the times of the year, and one of the little rituals to do with people around a table after or before or after they eat is to get a bowl of fallen leaves and another bowl full of dried fruit and nuts and an empty bowl. And what happens is everyone around the table picks up a leaf and they say something that they want to let go of, to shed, and they put that leaf in the empty bowl. Then they pick up a fruit or a nut and eat it and say something that they would like to bring into their life, so that they would like to harvest. So the process of letting go and bringing in.
So you just keep going, thanks Giles, until you feel complete. And then when you've done that, tie it off or however you like. Just continue to say the mantra or the prayer that you have constructed. And the construction that I've shown you is just an example. You know, as you go along it may change. It may morph into some other words that feel more pertinent to the process.
Can you have multiple things?
For sure. Just allow it to flow. Because you're going to find that a lot of things are because of other things. There are no coincidences, so they tell us. So it appears.
And this is something you've done before in the past?
Yep, I did it. Huge process, and I have found, interestingly, while going through my notes here, what I actually committed to, which was like, oh my goodness, you know, because I'm in the middle of writing a blog, and in that I've actually stated exactly what I just wrote for that commitment, which is interesting. It says, I will teach people to experience the possibility of connection of all things, smallest to biggest. But that's very true for me. So that's what I chose to commit to. And that's what came from my process. Now, I've got this string because that's important to me. I really feel strongly for this string, so it's very representative, and I feel to put it into this space. However, so basically you're constructing a web. Now, in one way you could look at it like a mandala. I really love these, so I'm going to add these. I found these beautiful wattle seeds. They're not on the string, but I just wanted to add this colour in here. I don't know why, so I'm just going to do it. Strong feelings are important feelings. Just have to listen to them.
Oh, that's very pretty.
Oh, so basically, you'll come up. You could add more colours. You could go through all the colours. You could add as much or as little as you like. But so long as you remain focused on what it is that you're here to do, which is this construction of your, whatever the prayer was for you, staying within the feeling side, not the thinking side. Yeah, so just maintain your mantra of gratitude. And once you've constructed this, the next thing to do is to take a walk in nature. So sometimes this is good to actually construct while you're in nature rather than in your house, or you've gone somewhere, or it could even be in your garden. And you're going to say that mantra to yourself and throw this into a tree where it hopefully is hit by the morning light. And just allow that to stay there, and you've let go of it completely. And the idea is that it returns to its source through decomposition. Just like going down into our metanoia. Nice. So you got some callistemon seeds. Yeah, lovely. So the idea is it's quite pertinent and private to yourself. You don't, we've shown you how to do this, but generally you probably would be doing it by yourself. You can do it together, so long as you're able to stay within that process of these, as you sow, so shall you reap. So essentially, that's probably about it. It's quite simple, but you can make it, as I said, as long or as little as you like.
And when do we throw these in the tree?
As soon as possible. Yeah. Within 24 hours at least.
You don't wait for the passing of the
equinox.
Yeah.
Well, if you want, or you could do it at the equinox. But the idea is mainly to ensure that it's done fairly soon afterwards. It's something you're letting go of. It's not something you want to keep hanging around. So essentially, yeah. So as soon as you can, just, yes, by the morning light. That's right. Okay, so we're ready to...
Any conclusions?
Yeah, we're ready to, as we draw this together, just making sure that you remember that this is the time for the metanoia, coming into the letting go process. You can plant seeds. This is a great time to plant seeds. You can focus on how it is that you're interacting with others, because it's very internal this time as we're going into sleep time. We're going into that more inner time. So again, with the Lightwalkers gathering, for those who want to come, there'll be information on the website for that. we shall be doing that if you want to. We should have, if you want to know more about the wreath construction, of course, questions are invited, that's fine. However, this is also part of Sacred Circle. It's part of how we walk through the cycles of life. So essentially, I think that's probably it. You got anything to add?
No, I'll just see everybody at the breakfast.
Yes. So on the 21st of March, 7 a.m.
Nice and early.
That's right. Okay, see you later.
Bye.